It's day 18 and a quick geographical overview. Susavle in Namibia is where we left to go to the Okabanga Delta in Botswana, way up here to the Tuba Tree Lodge. So this is where we've spent the last 2 days. We have one more day left, and this morning Gordon and I woke up very early before the sun came up and we went on our game walk throughout this region right here, and it was very cool. So we loaded up. I got my hot water bottle in my pants, so I'm staying warm because it's a little chilly in the morning, but the sun comes up and starts to warm me up. And we were out on our first game drive, just Gordon and I. We found this huge bull elephant with massive tusks. We're looking around, and then we come across this herd of elephants. They detected us. They put their trunks up to smell us, and all the babies behind. This was very unusual behavior. I've never seen this before. It is so fascinating. So they got in a very defensive posture. They were walking along, then they all gathered really tightly, put them up, and then they went on a parade. And this is when they moved quickly all together as a group to get away from us. Fascinating behavior. I've never seen it before. This is a southern ground hornbill. This is one of the biggest birds in Africa, endangered, hunts snakes and even poisonous snakes. It's got a great mechanism. It's got white on its feathers when it opens up, and the snake looks to attack that, and then they grab it.
And look at this baby warthog.
Look at the whites on its side. It's mimicking tusks. They don't have tusks yet, and those go away when the tusks grow up to kind of protect them against predators. And then this is their den. Look how deep this hole is, and they back into that. And then these baboons, you got a baby baboon on the mother's back. Very interesting. All this was just fascinating to see all this, and especially with the great light and the impalas all grouped together, everyone looking every direction and kind of staying warm there. And then an old elephant that died about 3 years ago, and this is all that's left of it right here. And then this is a strangle fig. So this gets a host tree and goes on top of the host tree, and then it basically kills it after about 2 or 3 years. And this bald eagle or this fish eagle up there, and the sun's coming up. It's just stunningly beautiful. Then we come across these vultures, and we kind of think, well, God, if there's vultures there must be something. So we hunted around a little bit. We couldn't quite find a kill, but we looked really hard. And then here, another strangle fig tree. This termite mound had fresh debris that the termites had just created. It was a little wet and moist. And then Kelly loads his gun with 5 rounds. This thing can take down a bull moose elephant, no problem. So very, very interesting how we're prepared. And this allowed me to be a little more confident about what we were doing as we walked out in the bush. So Kelly picks up some elephant dung and explains that 40% of it is consumed or digested by the elephant, but the rest of it is left behind for other animals. And then we continue along. He's tracking different animals. We come across this termite mound that the elephants have completely destroyed. Went in there to extract some of the salt from it, and you see their tusks hit it, and then the baboons came and defecated on it. And that's how the trees propagate from what the baboons and other animals defecate on, because they sit on top of these termite mounds as lookout mounds. And then the elephant behavior is just incredible here. You can see he's eating the leaves from the palm leaves, and then Kelly explains how they eat it and they extract the moisture from it and then chew it all up and then spit it out, so you can find actual parts of the palm leaf laying around. And then look at this baby elephant. So we come in contact with this baby elephant, pretty small, and then it comes across the road in front of us, but the mother is on the other side. Then the mother comes at us and sees that we're between the two of them and charges us. It's pretty interesting.
And then we saw this upside down tree. Very, very cool. Very peaceful again out here. And then these warthogs started following us. It's crazy. So everywhere we went, they came right with us and stayed very, very close. Notice Gordon's not paying attention here, taking pictures. Meanwhile, he's taking pictures of warthogs taking a dump. Gordon, there are better things to do.
Focus, Gordon. Now Kelly shows us how when he was a kid, they used to spit impala poop as a game.
Isn't this cool? I love the creativity of this. Back on the walk.
That's right.
And then this acacia tree that the elephants knock down and then strip the bark off it, because the cambium layer is what the elephants want for nutrients. And you can see how they've literally taken their tusks and just completely stripped it all off and then rolled this in their mouth, stripped off the bark and chewed it. And these little horns, the native people grind them up and put the powder in their breasts to make their breasts bigger. They cut it open and look at these beautiful birds. Wow, isn't this amazing? And that color actually attracts insects. And then we heard something in this tree, and it turned out it was just a big sausage that dropped. A baboon had probably been eating this one. These things weigh like 7 kilos. They're super, super heavy and dense. The giraffes like eating them, and the baboons. And look at this beautiful savanna. I just sat out there and I said, wow, isn't this stunning with a little bit of breeze? The temperature was perfect. Look at the size of the sausage. It's just huge and super hard. Animals love it, not edible for humans, but pretty cool find that we found there. And then I just laid out there and just took it all in and said, how lucky am I to be able to be in Africa and enjoy all this with 2 private guides? What a special feeling. And then we found the palm nuts that the elephants had been eating. Again, they stripped, these are the palm nuts, they stripped the pulp off, and Kelly shows how that pulp comes off by hammering it just a little bit. And when they poop, it comes out the other end because they don't digest the main part of it. And the baboons get it and they eat even more. So you can see how different animals eat the same thing and a different result. And then we were tracking this huge male lion. And it turns out there were 2 of them, another beautiful dead tree, and then a shot after our coffee break, and then back to the camp, and beautiful birds and singing, and a beautiful lunch on the balcony. Kelly, where are we going?
From now, we live in the camp. Heading straight to the Mukoro station to do the dugout canoe.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
it's gonna be fun.
That's gonna be great.
Don't hit anything.
Now it's time for our afternoon drive, and it starts off to a bang. And we love it because Cindy loves elephants, and we came across these elephants, and guess what happened?
Come on, baby. She's right here. She's right here. She's right here. She's right here.
And we come around the corner, and there's one lion in front of an anthill, but we go around the backside of the anthill in an entire pride. I think there were 8 or 9 lions back there lounging around. These are the same ones that got the kill the day before, and it was just awesome. We were so close to them, and they were so entertaining, resting, and having a great time. And we finally had to pack up and continue on our way to the lagoon area where we'd get into the canoes, and it just became just so beautiful and so peaceful as we got in these boats and we just strolled through these glades. And you could hear in the background the hippos, and then also these water bucks would go across the pond there, and then the egrets and the sunset, and it was quiet, and oh my gosh, it was just like over the top. It's like almost going to heaven. There's a great song about this by Bam Perry. It's called If I Die Young. If I die young, bury me in satin, lay me down in a bed of roses, sink me away in the river, send me away with the words of a love song. It was just the most beautiful setting as we coasted through these beautiful waters just at sunset. And then we got out of the canoes, we went over to where the hippos were. We could hear them. We went right over where there was a whole bunch of them. Kelly set up a place for our drinks for the sunset, and the hippos went crazy, particularly as I walked towards the shore. They saw me and said, okay, gave me a little bit of the heebie-jeebies for a second there. But then we got back in the truck after I had a beautiful little rest, and this giraffe met us on the road, and he was munching on something. It was a beautiful way to end the day as the sun was setting. It was just so spectacular. And then just as it got dark, this hare ran out. We took a quick photo of that. We looked for some more things. We came across this little spring hare jumping all over the place. This thing's really cool. And then a water thickening, this little bird wandering around on the road. And then a civet slipping behind this bush. And then an owl flew off a branch right in front of us and landed in a tree. Look for some more things. We came across this little cat that looks just like a house cat. It's just beautiful. So that is the end of our trip. Hopefully you've enjoyed this whole series we put together. We've had the greatest trip ever in Africa, and we appreciate you coming along for the journey.